If you're an INFJ, you've probably noticed something painfully ironic in life. People with half your insight, depth, or creativity often get further ahead than you do. They're louder, bolder, and more visible, while you're quietly building meaning, trying to do things right. But the world doesn't always reward depth. It rewards visibility, risk-taking, and persistence. Here are 10 reasons less talented people succeed while INFJs don't. 1. INFJs overthink instead of acting. INFJs don't just plan, they overplan. They replay every possible outcome in their head before taking the first step. This overthinking often comes from their dominant introverted intuition, NI. Their mind constantly scans for patterns and long-term implications. They want to make sure their move aligns with their vision, their ethics, and their purpose. But while they're still envisioning all the what-ifs, others are already experimenting, failing, learning, and adapting. INFJs often forget that success isn't about getting it perfect, it's about getting it done. True, INFJs hate self-promotion. INFJs find bragging deeply uncomfortable. They see self-promotion as shallow, even manipulative. They prefer to let their work speak for itself. But here's the problem. The modern world runs on perception, not truth. People rarely see your talent unless you show it to them. Less talented people understand this. They use confidence as a marketing tool. INFJs, on the other hand, struggle to balance humility with visibility. Their silence, though noble, often hides their brilliance. 3. They care too much about meaning. INFJs can't fake motivation. If something lacks meaning or authenticity, their energy instantly drops. They crave purpose like oxygen. But the path to success isn't always meaningful at first. It's often repetitive, boring, and full of compromises. Less talented people can separate feelings from function. They'll do whatever it takes to get ahead. INFJs can't do that. They'd rather walk away than betray their values. In the short term, it makes them fall behind. In the long term, it preserves their soul. 4. INFJs avoid conflict at all costs. INFJs despise unnecessary conflict. Their FE, extroverted feeling function, pushes them to maintain harmony and emotional balance. But success often requires confrontation, asking for raises, defending ideas, saying no, or standing firm in your beliefs. INFJs struggle here. They don't want to be seen as aggressive or hurt anyone's feelings. Meanwhile, less talented but more assertive people move forward because they're not afraid to ruffle feathers. INFJs lose battles they never even fight. 5. They have unrealistically high standards. INFJs set impossible expectations for themselves. Their perfectionism isn't just about the result, it's about moral and emotional alignment. They want everything to feel right. But perfectionism leads to paralysis. They scrap good projects because they don't feel complete. Less talented people don't wait for perfection. They launch messy ideas, learn from feedback, and evolve publicly. The world rewards progress, not perfection, and INFJs often forget that. 6. INFJs struggle with the system. INFJs see through facades. They notice manipulation, ego, and injustice, and they can't pretend not to. They hate playing office politics, fake networking, or flattering people for gain. But the harsh truth is, many systems reward compliance over authenticity. Less talented people master the game. They charm their way into opportunities that INFJs reject on principle. INFJs could play the system too, but they'd rather rebuild it. Unfortunately, that's a much slower path to success. 7. They hide their light. INFJs are naturally humble. They fear being misunderstood or coming across as arrogant. So instead of sharing their ideas boldly, they second-guess themselves. They stay quiet in meetings, hold back in conversations, and let others take credit. They underestimate their influence, thinking their insights are obvious, when in reality, they're rare. Less talented people, by contrast, amplify their smallest wins. INFJs dim themselves to protect others' comfort, not realizing that hiding their light helps no one. 8. They're drained by inauthentic environments. INFJs are hypersensitive to emotional energy. When they're surrounded by shallow motives or toxic people, their creativity dies. They can't produce great work in environments that feel fake. Less talented people, however, can adapt. They don't need emotional alignment to function. They can survive, even thrive, in corporate or superficial settings that would emotionally exhaust an INFJ. This makes INFJs seem inconsistent, brilliant in the right setting, burned out in the wrong one. It's not a lack of talent, it's a mismatch of energy. 9. They're waiting for the right time. INFJs believe in timing, that things unfold for a reason. But sometimes, that belief becomes an excuse to delay action. They tell themselves they're not ready yet, that they need to learn more, prepare more, feel more certain. Meanwhile, others act in uncertainty and figure it out as they go. INFJs want clarity before they act, but clarity often comes after you start, not before. And by waiting for alignment, they miss the moments that could have changed everything. 10. INFJs want inner fulfillment, not external success. This might be the biggest reason of all. INFJs don't measure success by money, fame, or recognition. They crave wholeness. They want to create something meaningful, not just profitable. They want to impact lives, not just collect followers. Less talented people might chase external validation and get it faster, but INFJs are playing a different game entirely. Their wins are invisible, spiritual, emotional, and deeply personal. They may not always succeed in the world's eyes, but they succeed in preserving their soul. INFJs don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because they refuse to trade authenticity for advancement. They see too much, feel too deeply, and question too honestly to fit into a system built on surface-level success. But here's the truth. Every world changer started as someone who didn't fit. INFJs aren't losing. They're just building something that takes longer to bloom. And when they finally do, their success won't just shine, it'll mean something.